nfoGuides, where I show you what little I know. Hello everybody, just wanted to kind of go over this process that I'm learning. I'm sitting there, computer person by nature, and I really have been getting interested in cryptocurrencies and mining. So I've been doing my own research and watching tons of videos from everybody, and I thought I would just kind of share with you, everybody, my experience here setting up my first mining rig, completely off the cuff, trying to do it, this initial round here as cheap as I can. So let's go ahead and take a look at what I've got so far. Okay, so basically what I did is I just started with pieces and parts laying around my house, and that's the picture you see here, and that's how I started. So again, this here is the system that I pulled the one card out of, and I replaced it with the 2 gig card that does triple monitors. So back over here to the rest of this stuff here. For my initial testing here, I just installed Hiveos on a thumb drive. I just used the little image, put it on the thumb drive, and I've been running off of that. So now here's some of the other expenses that I've had. Well, actually the power supply was a spare one I had around. It has enough to run 2 cards, maybe a third one. It definitely won't push a fourth. So I think it's a 550. And so this over here is a kilowatt meter, so I've been monitoring the wattage. So this is my kilowatts, I believe, over a little over 2 days of running. I think I'm at about 72. Well, I'll show you numbers later. I honestly can't remember. I wrote it down. I have a terrible memory. So then the next thing I did is I did pick up this here, a SanDisk. It was basically a cheap 128 gig solid state drive. I just figured it was a little bit better than running off of a USB for a long-term setup. I did purchase a box of fans here. So this is for future chassis. It's got the Molex connectors, and it also has the 3-pin. I had to pick up some adapters here for getting more power to the video cards. So this one here is a SATA to the 8-pin. And then I also picked up these here, which are Molex to the 8-pin as well. I did not need them all, so I've got extra because I'm planning on, when prices are affordable, I want to add to this rig. And yeah, just depends on when there's something actually reasonable to pick up. Oh, I didn't mention my wonderful OSB board here that everything's running on. It's at an angle because without a case, this card here likes to lean in the socket. So by being on this board, it helps me just tilt the board, so until I got the case, it would properly sit in the socket and not break. Then these are the risers I picked up. I honestly have no idea what brand they were. I know people talk about brands. I'm a noob. I just went on to Amazon, found cheap ones, got a 6-pack of them. I only needed one, but I went ahead and just picked them up. So these items here I actually purchased. So these were extra cost. I went out of my way to purchase so I could set this mining rig up purposeful. Then I have the little power switch here. All I did here was, this was a reset switch out of an old case. I ripped it out of an old case and just using it here as a power switch for the motherboard. And then this just came in. That's what's got me started to record this. And this here is the chassis I bought. It looks great, doesn't it? It's just a wonderful box. I will assemble that and show you guys what that looks like. And as I progress getting everything built, we'll go through that. But this just came in today, and so this will actually allow me to get all this stuff properly mounted in a case. This here is just an open air 8 card case. Again, I don't know the brand. I went with cheap. I don't know the difference. I've never done it before. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started on assembling this. Okay, we got this case together here, or rack. It was actually a lot easier than I expected. It was far fewer parts. I was expecting a lot more separate parts, but it went together here in 5 minutes. And so that was kind of nice. What I didn't expect is it came with a power switch. So my makeshift one that I had pulled out of an old case doesn't look as pretty. So I get to use a better one. But yeah, this went together pretty quick. Now I'll come back here after I get more of it assembled. But overall, for a cheap case, open air case, I like it. Who knows? Maybe I won't in the future. All right. We've got everything reassembled onto the frame. Everything looks pretty good to me. Went pretty well. There were some things I did notice as I was assembling this stuff into the frame. Hold on. This is going to be really important here in a minute. As you can see by what I've circled here in the red, it is a connector to one of the video cards. I have put it in backwards. Yep, that's me, complete noob. So, I've watched tons of videos that have told me don't put those in backwards. The green one right next to it is in the correct position. The red one, I've got it in the socket backwards. Yeah, I'm a noob. Anyway, back to the regular programming. You're going to see why this is really important here in a second. I might think about a different one in the future. And the main thing was the clearance between the CPU heatsink and this rail right here is not that high. If you had a motherboard with a taller heatsink, so the fan had to work less, that would be definitely an issue. So right now I'm just getting ready to power it back up. Hopefully I got everything. As you can see, I didn't put in the SSD hard drive just yet, so I'm just still going to be booting off of the USB thumb drive, and haven't turned it on yet, so maybe we'll get it to come up for us nice and clean on the first try here. And I did reset the kilowatt meter, so I can gauge that over the next 24 hours. Okay, minor hiccup. I couldn't get it to start. And so I just went through rechecking all my wiring. Got this here. Let's set that back. Let's see if we can get it to start now. And I also put the new switch in place. Let's give this a go. Let's see if we get anywhere this time. Oh, look at that. We got fans spinning. Let's see, is the monitor on? Okay. Hopefully we see this thing go through its boot process, and we can go from there. I didn't see the post. Okay, we're going to try again. See if we can see the boot. Right now I'm on the 5700. Looking for just the normal computer post. And doesn't look good to me. Now this is the first time I've tried this with both video cards being on those little risers, before I had the Radeon actually in the motherboard. I have no idea if that's part of my problem with this particular motherboard or not. Let me try the video back in this first one. And yeah. Okay. I'll be back when I think I figured this out. Okay. As you can see, I've got this now the USB thumb drive is now booting to Hiveos. You can see it booting up over here. And basically I think what went wrong for me here is part of it was my network cable. Earlier today, we had a power outage, and the network cable I had plugged in didn't seem to get me any connectivity anymore, so I gotta go check my switch in the basement. But I just plugged into a different switch port and wire, and after that connected, we started to boot. We got the network, USB's coming up, the 2 video cards are spinning up. So now if we come over here and look, we are starting the process here. So I'll be honest, I can't even remember what miner this is. I'll have to go, we'll show you on the other computer here. I think it's Phoenix Miner. Oh, there it is. Phoenix Miner. So I've got this configured for the Ethereum mining on the Hiveon pool with the Ethereum, or sorry, with the Phoenix Miner. And looks like we're starting up here. So now we'll just come down here, and you can see right now this setup is running about 297 watts. So that's the 2 video cards, the power supply. The monitor is not plugged in to the watt meter here. So eventually, now that I have this rig all set up, I'm actually going to be moving this out into my pole barn where I can let this thing run and not be bugged by it with the fans and the heat. This room, we keep it, this is a spare room. We normally keep it all closed up, and yeah, with it all closed up, it gets pretty hot in here pretty quick. So we're going to be moving that out. I'm working on getting a wire out to the pole barn for internet, and once I have that set up, I'll go out there, I'll move this rig out there. I just want to try to do a little bit more tweaking on the overclock settings of these cards, and yeah. Also, if you could leave me any feedback about the setup. If you see anything I'm doing completely wrong, please let me know. Or if you even just have suggestions, I am wide open to suggestions. So, okay, I'll be back in a second. Okay, now that we have kind of walked through every piece that I had and finally got my box to start back up, now that's all built and in this nice new frame, let's just kind of go over the software Hiveos. I am no expert, full disclaimer. I'm no expert, I'm just learning, so I welcome any comments. Please leave them below. Any comments, feedback, suggestions, I am completely open. But yeah, let's go ahead and just kind of see what's going here. Let's see, so Hiveos here, we'll go ahead and sign in. And so here you can see I've got the one farm started. It's got the 2 GPUs, and this is reporting that it's running 311 watts. Now I only have that one rig, currently called Java Scavenger, because it is all the parts I have scavenged together. Okay, I am using the Hiveon pool to mine Ethereum. So I've got these flight sheets. I've tried a few different ones, but well, I guess I'll be honest and say the only one I got to work so far is the Ethereum mining, but that's because I've been testing with a bunch of old junk cards. I've been testing on some 2 gig cards. I didn't have any 4 gig cards, so I finally switched over pulled my best 2 video cards out, and I'm using those. And since they have 6 gig and up, I figured I'd go to. So we're set up for Ethereum, and using the Hiveos pool with the miner. And so let's go over here to the workers. And so right now you can see here I'm running a Radeon RX 5700. It is not an XT. It is a simple one. I am getting 51 mega hash from this. I don't know if that's good. I know people have said I can get more if I BIOS mod it, but I might want to game on this again, so I don't really want to BIOS mod. My memory temperature typically can shoot up to around 85. I've got the settings on the fan speeds here to try to keep the memory temperature below 85. Is that good? Please let me know below. I much appreciate it. If I should be keeping it cooler than that. Right now it's a little bit cooler outside, so this room isn't heating up. Plus, it's been off for about 2 hours here while I got home. Power had turned it off, and then just dinner and all that kind of stuff and build frame. It's been off for a couple hours, so that's why I have the gap up here. Our timing. So I really didn't know what to do for overclock. So I'll be honest, all I did is I came in here, I looked at popular presets, I selected Ethereum, and then I just kind of chose one. The cardinality here, I'm assuming that means this is how many people use it. I don't know. That's an unfamiliar term to me. I would just think it would just say how many people are using it or used by. But so I'm assuming that's how many people use it. So I believe I had chosen one of the top 2 here. So this one's 1380, 890 DPM5 and 1350, 890 DPM5. So I went down a little bit on the core temperature. The wattage, I would really like to see this wattage lower. Anybody have experience with this card and know if there's some other settings I could tweak in here? I've watched several videos on how to manually tweak them in to get the best performance. I'm not sure I understand how to see when it goes from working to being in error. And then the second card here is the RTX 2060. I'm getting 31 mega hash out of that, and it typically runs right around 55, 56 degrees. I haven't had any problems with heat on this one, more so this Radeon card up here, but I do know they run a lot hotter. Again, for the overclock settings, I didn't know really what I was doing, so I just went the easy way. Went in here, selected death, found one that was in use. So this is 1050, 1800, 125, 1050, 1800, 125. I selected the top one. Yeah, I have no idea if my numbers are looking good to people or not. To me, I think they're looking awesome, but this is the first mining rig I've set up. So don't take it from me. Please leave feedback in comments. Let's see. So then the next thing, let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and take a look at what it's producing right now. So let me hide that screen while I go and get some login in. I don't want to show. Okay. Almost there. Okay, so we come over here to the Hiveos pool. We're going to go ahead and bust into my wallet here. And as you can see here, I'm 10% to payout. So I have been running this now for about 3 days. Maybe a little bit less than that. I've been just running it, and I know that the payout on Hiveos doesn't come until I hit 0.1 Ethereum. And so yeah, this is the numbers I've been getting. I think it's doing pretty good. and we're just going to keep an eye on this, and I'm definitely keeping my eye out for any halfway decent deals on 4 gig, 6 gig video cards. I'm open to mining stuff other than Ethereum. I know Ethereum's going away. This was the first one I started with. Everyone says it's where the most money is at right now. Honestly, I'm not in it for money. I'm in it for, it's a hobby. I like computers. I've got this stuff around. I want to learn. This is a hobby, and I'm going to keep on it at least until I get that first payout, and then I'll kind of reassess where everything's at. So, yeah, these are the numbers you can see I've been running. Saw the rig that I set up. I think I'm doing pretty good. Out of pocket cost, I think the parts I've bought now have added up to, I'll estimate probably around $120 in parts. You know, the frame, it was probably the most expensive, maybe a little bit more. It might be up to like $150 in parts. Other than that, I scavenged, because I've got so many other computers around the place, scavenged everything to get this started. And yeah, so I really appreciate everybody checking this out. I hope that you'll subscribe and hit that bell down below. I'm looking at trying to continue on a series here. I've tried some other live streaming, but I just can't live stream on my internet. That's a story for a different. Oh, and by the way, Hawaiian Shirt Fridays, it's the official dress code of spring and summer. Didn't know? Well, now you do. So again, I really appreciate everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for checking it out. Give me your feedback. I'd love to hear.